What's up, kind people of YouTube? My name's Ahmed, and welcome back to yet another video. Today, I wanted to talk to you about this film called Kill. And I know it's been a while since it came out, but I recently rewatched it on OTT and I thought, yeah, I've got to make a review on this. Let's start with the basic storyline of the film, and it's pretty simple. These two special forces commandos are traveling from their duty back home and they get into an argument with these crooks that are trying to rob the train basically. And that's the storyline. And everything that happens in the entire movie happens in that one particular train. And I think that's where the film did a great job. Like the whole thing was so intensely shot and the fight sequences were so well done. The choreography for each of the fight scenes is done so well that you tend to forget that this is not a high budget film. Genuinely, the acting, the performances, and how well it is choreographed makes you forget what the budget of the film is. It's not really a high budget film, and that is, I think, one of the best compliments I can give the film, because you're not focused on what the film is spending on the story, but rather how they're telling you the story, and it keeps you engrossed from the beginning to the end. Like I mentioned, the fight sequences, right? The fight sequences are at such a level that you forget that it's been produced by somebody in India. You think it's definitely one of those movies where the story is being written by someone foreign, to a point where I think it got a compliment from the John Wick's director for how the action is sequenced in the film. And we know how iconic the film John Wick has been and how many people, including me, love the 4 films that he did. Raghav Joyal in the film is stunning. He does such a wonderful job as the comic relief and the villain at the same time. Okay, so here's the thing, right? His character is the villain. At the same time, he is really funny. So you're also laughing at what he's saying, but not just the fact that he's a villain, the kind of villain that scares you. Like you don't want to mess with the guy. That is the kind of villain he is. That is something that I am surprised by, because Raghav Joel has been doing some really wonderful movies and TV shows in the last year, and I'm glad that he's getting the chance to do it because his performances have been astounding. The last 3 things that I want to talk about is the direction, the cinematography, and how well the soundtrack fits the film. First of all, the cinematography, it's for a budget film, for the kind of money that they spent on the film. Mind you, even though I'm calling this a budget film, by no means that it's a low budget film. It's comparatively cheaper than the other mainstream Bollywood films, but yes, they did spend money on it, and it does show because the cinematography is beautiful and the kind of shots that they're able to pull off with the kind of budget that they have has been what really sticks to my mind. Like even now when I'm recording this video, I'm thinking of the kind of shots they did and how smartly they shot the film. The next thing that is really good in the film is the soundtrack. Throughout the film, I don't think there was any moment that there was songs in the film, but the soundtrack, the background score of the film is what really elevates a good story. Like you can have a great story but not have a great soundtrack, or the other way around, you can have a great soundtrack but not a great movie, like Jhum Barabar Jhum, brilliant soundtrack but the movie was so-so. But in the case of Kill, the movie, the fact that the soundtrack complements the movie really well and how they're able to elevate the story because of the music that they're using reminded me of how important it is to have a good soundtrack in the film. And all of this is brought together by the smart direction of the film, because if the director did not have the vision that he did with the film, I don't think this film would have worked. Like there have been multiple attempts in a similar storyline, but not of the kind of quality that this film has done. I think that's my review of the film. I hope you enjoyed the review. I will see you in the next one really soon.